Hello, dear friends. I'm Claude. Welcome back again to my basement, and I hope that your week is going excellent. Today, I'd like to talk to you real quick before I go to the gym. Today, I want to talk to you about fear and how fear relates to your projects, your plan, the new career pathway that you're trying to set yourself into in order for you to emerge to new grounds. This is very important, guys. Very, very important. A lot of us are brainstorming, for the most part on how to change our lives, how to better ourselves. We're looking at the economic status. We want to emerge from the layer where we found ourselves into. Sometimes we don't like our job. We want a job that pays more, where we can earn top dollars and be able to do the things of life that we want to do, spend time with family, travel, make memories, without having to abide to the rigidity of working, for example, a 9 to 5 or any shift. We want to make as much money. We want to invest our time into our passion. We want to spend time, probably working out, building ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But every time we're trying to think about those things, every time we get ready to embrace that new journey, we are facing tribulations. We are facing fears. We start thinking about the walls that we put in our pathway, from a mind's perspective. We're looking at the all do nots instead of the all do's. And we need to kind of address that and be able to understand how we can figure out, strategize a way to navigate away from those walls that we set ourselves, that we put in our pathway. So the first thing first that we want to talk about is, as I said again, those videos. If you notice, they are all linked. We talked about the concept of friendship. We talked about the concept of confidence, and in those two concepts, there's a common thread that we talked about, and the common thread was the fourth dimension. Remember, we talked about the time, the availability, the communion, and the trust, and we said that trust was the seal to create a better pathway to our inner friendship, like a friendship for ourselves, with ourselves, and within ourselves. Well, we talk about this factor of trust. Trust is very, very important because trust also is a fuel that help us to galvanize our spirit, as we said before, in order for us to stand erect and face dangers and tribulation, a brave way. So once you start, building that trust for who you are trying to be, the mechanism of fear start pretty much evaporating itself, because you need to understand fear will never kill you. Fear is a mindset. Just like failure, most of the time we associate or compartmentalize both feelings, and we put them in the same box: fear and failure. Failure do not exist. Failure does not exist, guy. There's not such a thing as failure, right? We are building ourselves from an empiric standpoint with experience, with time passing by. Fear is just, anything that prevent us to acquire more experience, to acquire more knowledge, because no matter what we do, no matter how we invest ourselves, we can only learn new things. Either that you define those things as failure because you probably didn't get the outcome that you expect. When you look at it from a different spectrum, a different angle, you understand, despite the difficulty, despite the somatic pain, the physiological pain, despite the emotional burn, or the spiritual burn, you acquire some kind of knowledge that will help you to try again. And that's the reason why we keep on having that burst of life, because we are beings who are made to repeat or to try and to try again. That's one of the exercise of faith. But today we are staying limited to the concept of fear. So you should know, anything that you brainstorm for yourself, anything that you foresee that will elevate you to new grounds, those barriers, those difficulties, those tribulations that you are seeing are only limitation that prevent you to acquire more knowledge. Knowledge is light, and knowledge is the pathway that will elevate you to new ground. So do not be fearful, be fearless. Fearless, and guide your way up.